agree with you. It's just an attempt to try and change things up, and hopefully for their sake it'll work out, because Overpass, like you mentioned, has been very solid on the Marsborne side. Sure, you look at SkinRave, they did beat Wildcard there 13-5, but what has it been, over almost a month? Yeah, almost a month since that match took place. They haven't had an official on Overpass since. So, I mean, I'm leaning Marsborne, honestly, to take this one. And to be honest, I'm kind of, I don't want to be biased here at all, but I'd love to have 4 teams in that regional final, because SkinRave already won Cup number 3. If they win Cup number 4, then you only have 3 teams competing. And I really want to see Marsborne competing in that, because I feel like they could make even more gains in that tournament.
I think they deserve to be there too, just straight
exactly.
up, based on their recent results. Big move out beat. Walko. First contact is his, and Cryptic and MarKE, they both get one before they fall back. Neither of them going down. They stand to fight together even from Coffin. This is great stuff, as Wolfie is understanding this is a very difficult situation that he's now in. Try to double swing this bomb plant. Oh, MarKE's on your screen. He doesn't quite see. 60, he's alive. Hold on a second. Okay, Junior will shut him down there, but that was well handled from Cryptic and Walko, or excuse me, Cryptic and MarKE, especially Walko making first contact. The fact that they get their one and then fall back playing together, I love it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, SkinRave doing a great job there in order to get that first one on the board. And I also want to clarify, if SkinRave win it, absolutely deserved. There's no question in my mind. If they're going to get a bye into the grand finals, no problem. But it's just a personal hope of mine to have those 4 squads in there, because, I mean, what is it sitting at right now? I'm just checking it out here. You have Wildcard. Oh. Wildcard, NRG, and SkinRave. Well, the reason I say is because I don't know if Wildcard's gonna exist soon. Here, Vincent.
Yeah, I don't know what you. I also have heard that. I don't know like what the.
I've heard a
clearly
lot of
the talk of the
man.
town.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm also in the same mode. So either way, I mean, I think that's even more important though for like Marsborne to get this opportunity, right?
Yes,
especially because they've been beating teams everywhere, regionally, and even getting some big scalps, internationally. They got a land win against Saw. Like that, I think that's very much legit. So either way, they lost that first round. This is a force buy though, so focus up, because this thing not going to be handed over for free. Take banana control. And it's pretty cheaply that they are going to get that. Still lots of utility, especially flashbang wise. Marsborne have a ton for whatever the execute looks like that they go for.
Junior sees a smoke bloom in front of his face. Guns are primed and ready on the SkinRave side. Laxi swings around. Damage done, but not a frag. Chop pops around, takes his head off. 60 does the same to Junior. Walko's only got 1 and needs more than that, and he won't find it. 60 already 4 frags in only 2 rounds. The IGL is potent with that rifle. It will be Cryptic and MarKE, last 2 standing. A FAMAS and an MP9 available. Cryptic swings around towards bracket and doesn't really see anything. And now you have MarKE looking around at pit, and this is really tough. I feel like they're just going to call for the save. That's exactly what they do. And I mean, at least going to claim the FAMAS that Walko dropped. So yeah, there's that. It's not just an MP9 that they're saving. MarKE actually has a ton of utility too. That's going to be a nice addition. But nonetheless, I love how punchy that attack was for Marsborne. It was, very quickly, probably like what, a 10-second gap between them with a ton of utility and taking top banana control and getting car, and then they're starting to move into bracket and go from there. It's like the whole transition took 20 seconds total. Really think that's a great way to catch SkinRave a little bit off guard. Certainly. Marsborne, I'm wondering if they're going to face off against Force Spy. I don't have to wonder very long. It's already been committed to by SkinRave. 4 5.7s and the FAMAS. Util light. Only 7 pieces. 8, actually.
Did they lose one of the other FAMAS and I just missed it?
That's a good question.
They saved 2. No, am I crazy?
I thought they did too. Maybe one of them died and we just missed it?
It must have been. Because no reason otherwise. Regardless, I don't think that changes the potency of this force by too awful much. Certainly would have been a nice to have, but look towards some apartments control. That's what Chop's working on right now. Wolfie potentially going to get involved. They haven't forced their way back into Banana. There's 3 players towards B currently, and that's a nice place nade. As Cryptic going to go down low. It's going to be an interesting dynamic in this, because normally I'd talk about Cryptic as one of the best fragging in-game leaders, right? Like in the region generally. But, I mean, Sixy has shown up and showed out.
$43 left. I do agree. Sixy has been ridiculously good. Still with the gun, I thought he might take a hit in terms of firepower, and he did a little bit, but not as much as you might expect. Chop gonna get the opener here onto Walco. Nice nade, banked off the wall, hits Laxi, gets him down to 49. Chop, along with Sixy, doing the work. I mean, this round's already over.
It's a perfect time to do some waxing poetic, because I got a lot of thoughts. I actually haven't had the privilege of casting SkinRave under the SkinRave banner. It's just been a minute.
Okay.
You know, for me. But I have really enjoyed watching this team. One of the things that I've really enjoyed, though, is that I was a big fan of the potential for this Laxi move. I really got to watch him develop under, you know, what was that, Akimbo roster and all the other names prior to them being picked up by Akimbo. But, like, yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I think that this was, like, a huge opportunity for him. And it didn't really work out all that well initially, but he's really turned it around. He's really developed into this role, I feel like, and I'm quite impressed.
No, yeah,
it's still very early in this game to talk of that, but just generally speaking.
I mean, even if he doesn't play well in this game, you can still say it, because he's been very potent with this roster. You know, he's just on that Akimbo roster. It was W plus M1, right? Like, that squad just pushed everything, very aggressive, exciting to watch, but it's one-dimensional. And a lot of teams figured it out very quickly, and that's why they're not around anymore. But of all the players on that squad, I thought Laxi was the most gifted mechanically. So if you can get him into a structure, get him functioning at least well enough to not go out and take aggressive fights all the time, and then just loosen the leash a little bit so he can be free to try and find something, he can be so potent. And that's what's really happened here on this SkinRave roster. Honestly, like, sometimes he'll just pop around the corner, get a 3K, and it's unbelievable to watch. So we'll see if he can come through and have that type of impact here in this match. But again, I think Marsborne is going to be the toughest test for this SkinRave squad in quite some time.
I really love the targeting of these nades. They swung up Banana super early, got vision on MarKE, and they've just tossed 3 different nades on a bunch of different timings in order to try and catch him, and he's on 3 health because of it. It's a nice strategy, and it's just a threat that now is going to sit in the back of SkinRave's mind, or specifically MarKE, anytime he's there, and the 4th nade will finish him off. Nice work from Cryptic. There's still one man here, but Junior going to get burned out of first oranges, meaning that this is only going to be Grizz lost on the hit.
Yeah, this is trending well for Mars.
He's getting knifed. He's getting knifed.
No.
Oh, never mind.
Laxi's too nice.
I thought the knife was coming out.
Yeah, it has been a hot minute since Marsborne and SkinRave have played each other. A couple, let's say 3 weeks since it's happened, maybe 2.5, something like that. But a lot has changed for Marsborne in my mind, because they've been playing constantly and evolving as a team, and it feels like every single series they played, they just get better and better and better, especially Sixy and his calling and the ability to call while also contributing in the fragging department. And I mean, there's no better example of that than this map right here on Inferno. We already talked about it, but you know, a plus 20 win to loss differential. You know, it's insane what they've been able to achieve. Their only losses coming to Wildcard, Blue Jays, and that was back when I think Wildcard just got stand back, so they had a bit of a honeymoon and then everything fell apart again. But anyway, Blue Jays are this squad right here, the SkinRave squad, but I think we're slightly different back then, if I'm not mistaken. No,
yeah.
actually it was, no, Classia was there. Yeah, that's right. MarKE's now in his place, and M80, which we already mentioned. We know how good M80 are. They're going to the major.
Yeah, and just to put it into more like layman's terms of like what the results have been for Marsborne since then, right? Top 3 at Frag Ultra Mega Jersey. They won the Eagle Masters Series 4. That was against Boss, Boca, legit teams.
Yes.
And then they were top 4 at Knockout, which was the DreamHack Atlanta tournament. Like, these results are super legitimate. They make it very clear that Marsborne are not a team to be underestimating. Junior, that's a big fight, and he's a big individual for this game. If they're gonna win SkinRave, it's really going to surround Junior.
I agree. I think Junior's going to be integral to their success, and I think the problem is on Inferno, it's not really an Oppers map, and that's where Junior's most effective. Grizz, I want to find the first, a response to Viz's death. 4v4, 106 on the clock. Grizz tanks the nade and just falls back to bottom banana. 1 minute left as Marsborne are regrouping and looking to hit this A site.
2-2 split. So it's 4-4, obviously quite favorable for the T's, especially as they target bracket control. There's going to be no one here, and they're super quiet about this too. No information gain, no utility thrown.
35 seconds. Walco and Laxi have a pretty lethal crossfire setup. That flashbang could disrupt it. It absolutely does. They move in, but Walco is going to get one. Laxi another as soon as the flash dissipates, and then he finds the second. Told you these frags come in bunches for him. 60 misses the shot, and Walco ends it. That crossfire could not be trifled with, and SkinRave get a second.
I mean, truly felt like that was Marsborne making the right call, and then it doesn't matter. It's that crossfire that you highlight, but everything going perfectly. If you could maybe level any sort of criticism, once they meet some resistance, trying to get a second flash in there could have been an ideal way to handle that, but that's counter to what Marsborne's strategy was. They were hoping to contact their way up as far as they could possibly get. And, well, they got up very far. Doesn't matter. Looked like Junior wanted to go through that mid-smoke, but, in fact, steps forward, gets the look on the chop, waits for a little bit better timing, and that is Junior manufacturing an opening.
Very nice, and then 60 in the meantime, along with Grizz, taking a lot of damage towards Banana. They try to return the favor on Cryptic and are successful somewhat, but they're still worse for wear. Of course, missing a man as well, thanks to Junior's great shot from the AWP. 1:16 on the clock. Viz, wow, that's just threading the needle for that headshot onto Laxi. And now the doubt in the minds of SkinRave, are they going A? Is that something that's going to materialize into anything? Draws Walco to rotate all the way over to support the site. So now B becomes a little bit softer, but they can still decide where they want to go. There's plenty of time here, Vincent.
Yeah, that is absolutely the case. And I mean, at the moment, this is looking like it's a little bit more than it is for Marsborne and bracket. SkinRave, what is their reaction going to be? Because right now it's nothing. And you just watched Viz lurk through his own smoke. Great catch from Cryptic. Now they gotta go. This is the timing where MarKE's gonna be entirely alone, but he's going to be standing, waiting behind Coffin, waiting for a flash. That comes. Cryptic is still here, and he's down.
Wow.
That is a great shot from Wolfie that's entirely opened this up.
Wolfie just saved 60's life and the round, potentially. We'll see. 2v2, full health for Junior and Walco. Meanwhile, Wolfie and 60 are not looking good. Half health and running on fumes. Yes, the nades as well. You're absolutely right, Vincent. Junior looking to toss that one in. It goes to the corner, but not the right one. Wolfie had enough damage to, had enough health to tank the damage, and the bomb continues to tick away. I don't think they have time here. Junior's going to hit the shot, but Walco, no way. I don't see it. Racing back to the bomb. I think it's already done. It is. It will be Marsborne taking the round.
Oh, but man, that was close. I actually come to think of it, if Walco doesn't like get stuck there on the jump, that might have been enough. It was so very close. Yeah, this frag. Oh, we're not going to get to see it. That Wolfie frag is the round, not clinching but turning. Kill required it, picks it up, and unfortunately he's not going to be able to afford anything but a Mac 10 this round, but he deserves a ton of the credit. SkinRave, because of these couple of rounds in a row, they have a little bit better of a purchase. A Junior afforded AWP And he's going to take the full duel this time, but there's not a Wolfie op on the other side. It's just Viz and his rifle that goes down.
I mean, Junior keeps getting the openers here. That's good. It's 2 in a row. Manufactures the 5v4, but this is exactly what happened in the previous round, and Marsborne won it. MarKE has got the incendiary ready. Junior watching with the op towards top banana. 60's just walking out. He's going to catch him. Oh, MarKE with util in his hands, but no, somehow does not connect on a shot. Maybe Junior was able to push him back, although it was a missed shot. Smokes go back and forth. That's a really awkward engagement. And in the meantime, Marsborne are activating towards the A site.
Yeah, and Grizz opens. Cryptic, he's yet to activate here. Grizz going to go down, and there's nobody looking that way. They've got to break out of the apartment, and that's the difficult thing. Walko, though, not going to open the smoke. Instead, tosses a nade that doesn't really have any effect. 3-on-3, and from a disadvantage, it's now the advantage to Marsborne. They're going to get this bomb down shortly. Wolfie planning Vino, and this will be enough to, I mean, I would imagine, make them walk away. And yeah, SkinRave are going to do that.
Wow. It's just... I wish this map was more favorable to going for retakes, because on a lot of others, 2v3 would not deter you. But here on Inferno, A site is nigh impossible to go through and get anything done, especially with the lack of utility available to SkinRave. So it will be Marsborne taking the round. Still, I mean, deserved, of course. Nice take of that A site. They activate very quickly off of that awkward engagement towards Banana. While it's all happening and 60's attracting attention of 2 players, they move in. And while Cryptic does bide his time and is effective for 1, it's only 1 before the trade goes through. And I agree with you. You know, Walko throwing that nade pretty much into the void. Sometimes it's just better to break open that smoke and see what you can find with the gun instead. And, well, because he doesn't get any visibility nor information, and eventually falls himself, and the rest of SkinRave go for the save. Money is low for them, so they will be ecoing except for these saved guns.
Yeah, and I mean, this is another one of those maps where 60 is just, I mean, he's owning. Yeah. Straight up, like 12-3. Yes. It's terrifying. And I think what's actually so crazy about it, and this isn't meant as a negative at all towards 60, like he's 12-3, and we haven't even been talking about him like doing insane things. It's just him being a part and being, you know, in the middle of all the action every single time. That's what's so cool to watch, is that he's doing such a great job, and it doesn't have to be like, oh, he's like getting a 4K or an ace or whatever. Right. It's him consistently getting 2 or 3 kills every round that they win.
No, I agree with you. I guess what you're saying is, like, doesn't have to be the hero necessarily. He's just in the right place at the right time with the rest of the team, and they're all working together. He happens to be the beneficiary of it by getting those frags, but it's definitely a team effort that's going through. I agree. We've lost 2 players. Wolfie and Grizz just disconnected simultaneously. I believe they're playing from the same location. I'm not sure if Marsborne...
Are they?
I don't know. I thought they were boot camping, but now I'm doubting myself.
Okay, I didn't know. So
no, I don't know that. I'm just I'm just saying that because I feel like it's a possibility. But either way, 2 disconnecting at the same time gives me that inkling that it is true, right?
Yeah, it's either that or some server issues. That's the 2 things. But yeah, I think we've seen an impressive start here for Marsborne. The fact that they've been able to recover so many of these rounds where Junior, it's like 3 rounds here that Junior's had an opening kill.
Yes.
And all but one of them, SkinRave lost.
I don't understand. Like, that's wild. Just Marsborne, ignore that, guys. The round's going to be restarted. But yeah, it's just Marsborne has been so potent, even when they haven't necessarily gotten those opening frags. And that's even more problematic for SkinRave already, you know, on the back foot just with this map being picked through. I don't know if we really talked about the numbers on the SkinRave side here on Inferno, but it's not much, right? They've played it 5 times over the last 3 months. The last time they played it was October 26th. Against Marsborne, lost that one in overtime, 13-16, and their only wins are against Wildcard, 6 days before that loss, and Regain about 11 days before that. So it's very sparse in terms of the amount of times they've played here. And this chicken's playing games, man. Don't look into his eyes too long. You may be hypnotized.
Put it into perspective.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Since that match that SkinRave last played on Inferno, obviously against this Marsborne team. Yeah. Since that time, Marsborne have had more reps than the total number of times in the last 3 months that SkinRave have played Inferno.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Since that time. What is happening?
I don't know, dude.
I can't not say anything. This is crazy.
I think this chicken is doing some sort of voodoo magic on the stream and has reversed everything.
Dude, this is crazy. This is whack.
I've never seen this before. This is the first for me.
How have we done this? This is actual black magic.
It is. This is.
My mind is being broken. I just want you to know. I can't.
I'm really tired. I don't know. I haven't gotten much sleep lately, so I just want to make sure this is actually happening. I didn't fall asleep on stream.
No. It's quite real. Quite real.
How? This is kind of a mind bender.
This is like, you know that community map that is like, or like small mirage or like backwards mirage?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, that's what this is.
Yeah.
But Inferno.
How do you just do that? Wow. I guess if you look into the chicken's eyes long enough, the map inverts itself. Everything goes crazy. It's like some sort of Zelda game mechanic or something.
That doesn't sound exactly like what it would be. It's a Zelda game mechanic.
Wow.
I guess whilst we have a tech pause, more time for us to yap, which, listen, you and I happy to do, but
yes,
hopefully we get this figured out relatively quick. Nonetheless.
It's back. Sorry, go ahead.
Dude, that's actually incredible. I need to know. I need to ask how this is done. We were talking about how central Junior, I think, has got to be to a win here today. And I say that has got to be. I think that, we're quite a while from the few months ago that was like this team being the Junior show and that's it. Walco's really done a great job, I feel like, of like leveling back up his game after what I initially feel like wasn't that great. MarKE's come in and hit the ground running, and I talked about Laxi. But if it's going to be a situation where we're seeing this level from Marsborne, it's got to be everybody stepping up.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. As the Molotov's going to sail here to the feet of Junior and Cryptic. They have to hightail it out of here and back off. I think... Well, I'll get back to it. Chop going to get the headshot onto Walco. 5v4 coming through. Viz spots out Laxi with util in his hands, and Laxi can do nothing but toss the smoke and then die. Only 3 remain for SkinRave, and Marsborne just having their way with SkinRave in this round.
It's round 8, John, and I feel like the consistency with which, wow, nice shot. We're seeing Marsborne like contact into places and just get free map control is a little bit absurd. And I know this is an eco round, but I mean, even in some of these gun rounds, they're getting away with a lot. And that's got to change very quickly if this is going to be a recovery of this half.
I'm not sure it will. I mean, that's how good Marsborne have been on this map. But I mean, that being said, we did talk about the fact that SkinRave did push it to overtime against Marsborne previously, but because of how many reps, how much experience Marsborne have, lately, they've been leveling up, whereas SkinRave, not by any choice of their own, have not been playing that much. A lot of forfeits coming through.
Yeah, and even then, I mean, they're just not playing all that many events either.
That is true. They aren't choosing to go to a lot of these LANs.
Yeah, and I think that that's... I'll put it this way. I do think that that's like simply a matter of like not having the ability to, drop everything and go, knowing some of these individual players. But
yeah,
that being said, even some of those online events, like I'm sure they got an invite to the Eagle Masters.
Yep.
Elected not to do so for, whatever reason. But regardless, I think that's a little bit more expensive than Marsborne we're hoping. But I mean, realistically, at 6-2, it's not as if they've run away with this thing. But Marsborne certainly on that track.
Yeah, they are. Marsborne already having played today, by the way, and well, both teams played today in the Prize Picks Any Revival Series. A very quick series for SkinRave, winning 13-3, 13-3 against Sakura, and Marsborne defeating the Zomblers in what was a more dicey affair, 13-9 on Ancient and 13-8 on Inferno, but maybe Marsborne a little more warmed up because it was a closer matchup. Either way, Sixy gets the headshot on Cryptic and opens up the fragging again.
Yo, put respect on Zomblers, though. They are a good team.
No, I know. That's why that's why I'm saying like they had a tougher time, because Zomblers are a pretty strong team right now.
Look at a tough spot for MarKE to be in. There's a reaction coming, like Laxy's on the way, and at the moment it looks like Marsborne aren't all that interested. Great work for Junior. That's something that we haven't seen SkinRave do yet, right? Their reactions on A have been really slow, really lethargic. Now they move out onto this B site. Marsborne gonna get there. MarKE, I mean, he's swinging for the fences. You gotta give him that. Laxy's close, but not close enough to help. And in fact, he gets knocked down through the smoke. That's painful. And how about another 2-on-4 that SkinRave can't go for?
Well, this time I kind of understand it. You know, there's no space to be gained. They do have the util, but Junior's op is too important. Money's running out on the side of SkinRave, and Marsborne are making this look just a little too easy in a lot of ways. Charging in towards that B site, taking some of these fights with dry contact, not really needing the util necessarily. Of course, a lot of util was was thrown there, but yeah, you were already talking about it earlier.
We are seeing adjustments from SkinRave. I mean, I was maybe a little lost in it there for a second, but the way that Junior's looking to re-aggress there on our porch side, excuse me, you know, looking to grab back bracket control. Last time, and I mean many times, whenever they're getting pressure on B or even into those 4-on-4s, they've been entirely slow or not at all interested in moving on. It's just, we're going to sit in our crossfire setup, whether that be like the pit site crossfire or maybe, you know, balcony site, etc. They've been happy to sit in those, but SkinRave finally starting to make more proactive moves, which, to be honest, is weird because, I mean, it's a general factor, I feel like, of Cryptic-led teams that, you know, they do very consistently look to go for those re-aggresses. That's kind of Cryptic's style, and they're usually a lot more willing to do that. It's a little bit weird how slow they've been to make that adjustment.
Sixy spamming through. Nade gonna get tossed forward. Molotov as well. And, I mean, there's a player tucked in sandbags. That's Cryptic. But they've thrown so much util at Marsborne towards B that they're going to keep 3 players there when the actual execute looks like it's going to go A. Absolutely will. Uh-oh. SkinRave are in a bit of trouble. Walco, along with Laxy, going to have their hands full. Reinforcements are arriving, but look at Marsborne. They paused. They've put the brakes on, and now they're waiting for the rotations to cut them off and then go for a hit towards the A set. Or maybe that's all going to happen simultaneously. MarKE does spot out Sixy. Laxy's still alive in mini pit. Laxy can't do anything. Walco only gets 1. Chop the trade, and it will be chopped with 2 as a 3v3 materializes for them.
Still, lots of time that's ultimately been bought there, with that hesitation going to allow for SkinRave to actually have a chance at this retake. 2 smokes, flash as well. Oh, but I don't see a kit. This could be painful, which means they've really got to go. So a resmoke to Moto doesn't matter.
Right?
You've got to get moving. But they do indeed. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I've been watching too many different HUDs today.
No, I understand where you're coming from. I've done 2 others as well. This is my 3rd. Anyway, Junior and MarKE going to get a couple here. Viz and Wolfie trading effectively. Junior taps the bomb, but he doesn't know where Viz is. Viz hiding in mini pit, throws the Molotov on the bomb. That clinches it. Junior gets the headshot. Doesn't matter. Likely going to die to the bomb here, and he does. Oh my goodness, Marsborne are playing so very well. 8-2 in their favor.
I mean, that is devastating. Viz has a molly at that point in the round, and he just hits it perfectly. He can play hands-off keyboard Counter-Strike, but he doesn't need to. Takes the swing, and the fact that everybody goes down, poor Junior gives it a valiant effort. Still, this Marsborne squad, they continue to step up 8-2. This was already such an incredible T-half, and it could get even better here. I guess there's small solace in the fact that SkinRave still have money they can keep buying. Because of all their saves, their econ management has gone well.
Oh, Cryptic's almost wiped out through that smoke. Down to 46. Grizz peering around towards mid. No one really peeking aggressively from that side. And I think Cryptic's just going to tuck himself in and wait for contacts. I doubt he'll go around this corner without some sort of util to support it. But 60 knows. 60 knows. Molotov goes in. Cryptic doesn't have a smoke. It relies on his teammate to throw it, but now they know that someone's there. The nade finishes the job. MarKE peeks around, and 60 gets the headshot. Such a nice sequence, and, you know, salt to the wound here. Chop on the other side of the map drops Walco. Junior's still alive. AWP available. Now gray screening through a smoke. Will hit that shot. That's actually really impressive, but it's still a 4v2. How much more can you expect from Junior here?
I mean, he's going for the round win because he doesn't have a choice. Goes for another swing, and that one close to the mark, but it's not quite there. Poor Junior. No escape for him. Viz has him. Dead to Right says, well, how about another save, Laxi? I'm sure this has been an enjoyable half for everyone involved on SkinRave. Oh, it's save strike in the worst possible manner, and maybe for the better or for the worse, I really don't know. It's been everybody getting as good of a taste of it. The A side's been falling, the B side's been falling. Wherever Marsborne go, they leave a trail of death and destruction that just cannot be overcome.
And it's not just purely the mechanical prowess that's winning this. It can't be, because SkinRave are very good Counter-Strike players. They're solid. So you have to have the strategy mixed in effectively, and the utility's been brilliant. I mean, the flashes are being thrown at perfect time. The spacing is perfect. As they go into the bomb sites, if there is a player that falls, the trade is soon to follow as well. It's been so very pleasant to watch. And on the other side from SkinRave, I don't think they're necessarily doing anything wrong. It's just that Marsborne are that good on this map.
Yeah, I think that if there's a criticism to level at SkinRave, it's them not being as tradable, them playing a little bit isolated. Like, there's been a lot of times where that's the case, especially think about last round and like how aggressive Cryptic was. But nonetheless, I digress on that point, because it is absolutely true what you've been talking about, how good Marsborne have been. Nice nade, right on target. That's going to at least give SkinRave a man advantage. But they've had these before. It's been a while, but they have had these and not been able to convert.
Yeah, already at least twice before. And there we go. That's a 5v3. Pretty sure SkinRave have not had this before and let it slip away, but it still might. Wolfie along with Viz and Chop, biding their time. A minute left on the clock for them to think about things here. Tons of util. How do they deploy it? And I mean, look at SkinRave. 3 players towards A, even though all that contact was B, and another one rotating. No, okay, Cryptic will eventually pull himself back to B, but technically a 3v2 onto this side, and if they don't get a trade here, it'll be down to a 3v3. We'll see what Marsborne can do. Oh, they catch Cryptic jumping around. MarKE, a little bit exposed as well. Bit of panic there, throws the Incendiary down on the ground and tries to fade away, but he's giving up the sight.
And Wolfie's got an op that's covering for the flank. This could be perfect. 2, walking up banana. He'll nail the first, and he gets out. So a chance here at the second.
Oh, MarKE's gone too.
Junior next around this corner. The adjustment not fast enough, but it's still a 2-on-2. Great work from Chop. Viz isolated, but Viz hits the shot, and it is a 3-on-5 recovery for a 10-2 half for Marsborne. This is incredible stuff. We'll see you after the break.
All right, we're jumping back into the action here. I forgot it was so one-sided. 10-2 in favor of Marsborne. Unbelievable performance on their T side. As SkinRave, well, if there ever was a must-win pistol, I think it's right here. MarKE burning down, and then he's finished off by Chop. Lots of damage done to Viz and Chop, though. And with those Glocks, they could easily pepper these two players down. They do have a lot of utility to work with.
I mean, the real problem about that is that, sure, they have basically their pick of things, but they don't realize how little the defense is actually set up here at B. They're going to make the right decision, heading that way. So understanding that, 2 mollies, a couple of smokes, 3 smokes, geez, actually. Both of those going to go out, execute. Surely not going to be contested.
No.
By Chop, first shot, and then they'll go, but look at this flank.
I mean, Chop's just trying to attract attention. Yeah, the flank activates immediately. Wolfie on to Junior. Then the follow-up on Cryptic. He is just running through. They can't stop him. Lax, last one available. Gets 3, almost a 4th, but finally is put down to rest. 11-2 for Marsborne, but what an effort from Laxi to try and string that round together. Now it gets even more dire, Vincent.
Yeah, I mean, talk about swift work. Like,
yeah.
Sean, they didn't even get a bomb plant.
I know, that's insane.
Like that, which is unfair because they had such a great execute. They had so much utility. It just feels like it was destined to at least be a bomb plant, but no. Marsborne, they found the perfect call too, like that swift move back up that direction. Looked like they were trying for something quicker, but Cryptic slows it down, and ooh, he's going to eat a nade for the trouble. Still, lots of T's, up banana. 3, a 4th now joining. And they're too late. They're too late for this retake utility. It's over already. And MarKE, an incredible double. That'll be enough, I think, to keep SkinRave in this game.
I think so. Wolfie, Grizz, and Viz don't want anything to do with this, it feels like. And yeah, they're just going to hang back. So at least, yeah, you're right. SkinRave are staying in it. But off of these saved guns, Marsborne are going to force up. So, you know, the job's not done yet. There's still a lot more before we can start talking about the potential of a comeback.
You know, there's a couple of things that I've seen Marsborne be able to do in the last few weeks that have, like, for me, very much turned my opinion from a team that prior to the 60 pickup was a little bit lost. You know, I think it's fair to say that, and didn't quite know where they wanted to go. Certainly knew they needed to change, but hold on a moment. Because this is maybe not going to be as potent of a save. Yeah, it won't be. In fact, nobody gets out there. Great hunting. Finally done by SkinRave. That might just call for like an actual eco. No, they don't have money for that to make that possible. So it's a force buy no matter. But as I was saying, you know, it's a very different Marsborne than it once was, you know, not all that long ago. And I think that this is a time for this Marsborne team, if there is going to be one, you know, for them to take that next step up. And I think a win today, you know, in this final would be another indication of that.
No question. Well, this round's going to be a little more difficult. They're stacking up the numbers towards the B site. Those 5-7s can be absolutely destructive if you're not careful on your approach. Looks like SkinRave want to at least poke and prod towards the A site, but the bomb is still down at alt mid, meaning that either this is just a fake and then they're going to double back towards the B site, or they just forgot the bomb, and okay, they just forgot the bomb. It's going to be grabbed now and picked up by MarKE. Still a lot of time left on the clock, but they are just holding over at mid. Meanwhile, Cryptic is making a ton of noise at B to try and fake this, and I mean, it's probably working. No one on the Marsborne side has moved a muscle.
Bomb's heading here.
Or not? It's not a fake? Really?
I guess not.
Maybe he's trying to sell the fake, quote unquote, and get them to rotate to A. I don't know.
That's what it is. That walk away there too.
Yeah.
Is another indication of that potentially. They're gonna go. Still 4 here. MAC-10 doesn't actually get the kill there up in front, and Wolfie will claim 1. Viz still alive. But Wolfie overwhelmed, and what a shot there from MarKE.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. It looked like the shot came from a different angle. It's just such a fast flick to finish off Wolfie. And now Grizz on the backside of Banana. I mean, the only mission here is to try and do as much damage as he can and maybe earn an extra $50, $100 for his team. Junior, Walco, and MarKE could just fade into CT, and that's looks like they're pathing. Meaning that Grizz will save a 5-7 and some body armor. 4th round for SkinRave, and probably a 5th after this, because it's just the full eco for Marsborne.
Yeah, I mean, got to give SkinRave credit on looking to be able to stick in this game, just emotionally and mentally, but there's still a very long way out of this. We're not really going to be talking up a full comeback story for a minute.
No, it's going to take more than this.
I think what's crazy is that this scoreline, they got to this scoreline with SkinRave playing relatively well, like individually. It's not that SkinRave are just like not shooting today or anything like that.
No, exactly. Yeah, we mentioned it earlier. And, well, SkinRave are going to take care of the shooting there. Junior spraying down 3. It's just Marsborne sending it balls to the wall down mid and hoping they can get something, but nada comes through aside from some damage against Junior and Cryptic. And there's that 5th. But, yeah, you're absolutely right. SkinRave have played a good... I mean, they played well here on Inferno. It's just that Marsborne have played a lot better, and their strategies, in particular on T side, were super potent. You don't get a 10-2 lead without that happening unless your opposition is not up to the task, but I feel like SkinRave were and have been in the past up against Marsborne. Anyway, jumping into this round, it is a buy-up for Marsborne, but not the best one. An MP9 and a FAMAS having to be settled for. Utility good, but not perfect. And Wolfie is on a glass cannon. Okay.
Wow. How did Cryptic get that? And even beyond that, yeah, this A-site hold was honestly never all that great setup-wise to begin with. Viz creeping through a mid-smoke. Gonna get a lot of damage onto 1. MarKE will find the train getting shot by his teammate at the end.
Oh, jeez. Chop's got to get out of here.
What a horrific round for Marsborne.
Yeah. That was really bad. Probably the worst we've seen.
I mean, I will tack onto that. Ooh, what a find here. 60. Not trying to get out with this one? Yeah.
No. What is 60 doing? He's crazy. He's a mad lad.
Oh, he's winning. No, he's winning.
No, he's not. There's no way. There's no way. He has no time. 60, what are you doing?
Okay, but like if he got that kill a little quicker, he really would have had it.
Yeah, you're right. I think also he couldn't figure out where the bomb was, and he thought it was closer, and then when it wasn't, he's like, oh, crap, and throws the smoke, and it doesn't work out. Appreciate the effort, definitely, and leave.
He wasn't that far off.
No, yeah.
Oh, entertainment value at minimum.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't think he would have gotten out with the op either. They were closing in the distance. He could have got it and run immediately. That's the only time. Well, how about another half buy with 5-7s? I think the reason that Marsborne was so surprised there is that SkinRave actually made no audio cues getting into bracket and getting up long haul. Like, it was really quick. It was about the minute 25, like right about now in the round.
Yeah, you're not wrong. This time telegraphing their play a little bit more. Wolfie's got a chance to strike. Great flashbang. Wolfie actually survives that, which is good. He can fade back to the site, but they lose a lot of map control into bracket. In fact, it's completely given up pretty much to SkinRave. Marsborne, well, I say that. Viz is close by, and he will have support shortly, but they're just holding for Arch at the moment. Smokes go in. SkinRave's about to go for the fight.
60's playing anti here too. But it's not enough. Fall down. Chop's going to save his M4 again unless there's something crazy here that Wolfie can do with the 5-7. And I'm thinking not. Though he does force an error right there. Walco going to end up taking his teammate down. This should be 7 though. Chop going to enjoy a little bit of save strike himself. Marsborne making SkinRave do this so often on their T side, getting a little taste.
Oh, yeah. But, you know, a couple of lighter buys coming through. Now this next one should have a bit more teeth to it for Marsborne. But, I mean, SkinRave up to 7. It's only 4 back. Thing is, you still have that pressure to be perfect. Because if you lose one round, then it's map point on the other side. Chop saving the M4 allows the op to be purchased up. So that's a big save to come through. He'll drop the op for Wolfie. Everyone else will get the M4s. It should be strong util as well. In fact, full util for everyone. This is it. If SkinRave can rebuff this, then we're talking about a comeback.
Yeah. You know, everything else up until this point, it's been a little bit tentative, but also already some good calling out of Cryptic. I think the win, which he's been able to really catch this A-site defense off guard ultimately very often.
Wolfie
good.
He didn't go for the peek at all. Molotov went in, stopped him from going out, and he just holds the angle instead. Nice nade, Cryptic. The recipient of that great flashbang as well. 60 doesn't realize someone's up close though. Chop supporting it, that doesn't matter. Both players spamming away, both through the smoke and around it. And while they do get 2, Laxi responds for 1. I think that's over aggressive from 60 there, Vincent. He just could have fallen back. It's a 5v3.
What's bro looking for?
I don't know.
He got an AK already. He like took his knife out and was searching the ground. I'm not sure what he was on the hunt for, but he certainly didn't find it. Unless, of course, it was a headshot to the skull. I don't think so. This is ultimately got to be a commitment, I feel like, eventually to be. Not necessarily have to be right now, but as I say that, Walker's getting a lot of space. Him walking this up, lurking very deeply. Nobody's yet seen him.
He'll get spotted if he comes around this corner, though. Viz is watching.
Bomb's joining. So it is going to be A.
Do they have smokes? They have 1. Yep, there it is. Viz catches Walco. The spacing's not there for the trade, so Walco, his death, not in vain. Laxi will manage to get it eventually, but it's still a man advantage. 14 seconds left. They're not really giving themselves much time. Great incendiary toss by Grizz. He will lose his life. Now they're planting in the corner. Wolfie, watching with the op. He knows they're isolated here. Great smoke. The one smoke they have available, they hold on to it and throw it Moto. Now Wolfie will have to deviate a little bit or wait for it to fade. Incendiary thrown in. That scatters them a little bit, giving Chop an opportunity. MarKE backing into Chop's angle. Now realizes it, turns around and hits the headshot. MarKE trying to do it all himself. Wolfie down to 13, does hit 1, but the nade will trade him out. Laxi at 3K, MarKE with 2, the full house amongst them, and SkinRave are on the comeback trail.
Yeah, and listen, you were talking about that Molly. I actually think it's what has sealed the fate of Grizz there. I think that if he just plays passively to get his 1 kill, doesn't give his position away, and he's likely able to turn that into a 2v1, and it's probably over in Marsborne's favor. But gives his position away. Small moment, but I think a very important one in that round. Nonetheless, huge credit, of course, to what we just saw. You know, Laxi able to step up late into the round, and a 2vx that's incredibly potent.
Crazy to think we're even here. It was 10-2 for Marsborne at the half. They only have one round on CT side. And just looking at the numbers, their CT side, 67.1 round win percentage. Better than their T side, which is 63.8.
I think with the even more important point to make about that is that this has been almost exclusively SkinRave stepping up, right? Yes. That last round's the only one where you can really point the finger and say Marsborne had screwed it up.
True.
Bracket control for strong, but lots of tangling here. Very clear Marsborne are and how far forward SkinRave have become here. Everybody's here for the T's.
Oh, MarKE gets dinked down to 9 HP. Here they come, collapsing forward. Marsborne get 2, but 2 on back. What's happened here? A 3v2 in favor of Marsborne. After the dust settles, Walco hits a headshot on Grizz. That's the A site again, cracked through. 26 HP for Junior, 53 for Walco. Are there any nades here? No. Only a flashbang for Marsborne and a smoke on the side of Junior.
If Walco keeps walking this up boiler side, he's got this in the bag. I say that. Wolfie takes his peek, but now the MP9, it's got to get going. Chop's got the only kid as well. Pushes out, and you can't take the shot fast enough. It's time to arrive onto the site proper. Gonna force Junior to swing. Up close is Walco on port side, but there's not time to fake again. And Chop will go down. 9-11, SkinRave. They're so back.
This is an incredible recovery, and this is where, you know, we talked about Marsborne 60 doing a lot of the fragging and it being a team effort regardless, but right now, the rest of the squad has fallen silent, and 60 hasn't been able to have that same impact, so maybe there was something to it for him. Although that was very close, we have to be honest.
I mean, specifically the struggles for Grizz on this A site have become very
amplified.
Significant.
Yeah.
That said, you know, Marsborne looked to take a timeout here. Think they're starting to ring the alarm bells that we just have as well. And, you know, for SkinRave, I've really got nothing but positive things to say. The way they've handled these late round scenarios, every single one of these rounds that, like, on the CT side we're going, or on the T side rather, we're going Marsborne's way, are now the opposite to SkinRave. These late 2vx's, clutch situations on the bomb site, etc. This is an eco for Marsborne. I know they've got a lot that they've been able to invest, but ultimately they've still got money to buy next round.
Yeah. Going in a little heavier than you'd expect, but they've got a plan around it. 60 jumping over the half wall. Here comes an aid. It doesn't really do much. 60 the one receiving the most damage. Now he tosses one, and it does chunk MarKE down to 52. But SkinRave aren't too fussed. They are going to continue their pathing up Banana, take the control of it. Won't necessarily be their final destination. Marsborne don't have any info anymore. Okay. There goes Viz. A site continues to be a vulnerability here.
It's not just that he goes down, it's him so far ahead of anyone else. Nobody able to work off of his contact, and more pain points. Still 2 here on B. We're going to walk it up. MarKE getting so deep, and Dixie's got his knife out. Chop. What even was Chop doing?
I think he was trying to set up util at the same time as 60 was, which is strange, right? But either way, you know, you got to time that a little better and have someone with their gun out in that situation. This round's over. Oh, maybe Grizz gets a kill here. Okay. I thought he was going to wait too long. It's been a rough game for Grizz, so dying there wouldn't have helped his confidence. But he does grab the AK. Plenty of money for SkinRave, so they're going to try and prevent him from saving this. He has gone to Underpass. Maybe he can farm a little bit more money for his team. Gonna have a look around. Yeah, he does. Nice tap from Grizz. And no, He dies. No AK saved over. Got a little overambitious. And it will be a 10th round for SkinRave. As you mentioned, the buy-up is still available on the side of Marsborne. They manage their money well. Wolfie can go with armor and an op, but won't have that much utility, so that's the limitation on his side.
You know what I'd like to see?
Yep.
Marsborne have like a mid-press call that they do like to make. Something along those lines, I feel like, is in the ballpark for what they need to be looking towards. They've got to do something on A, because holding the site just ain't it right now.
I mean, the utility's been good down Banana. There's more damage done to Laxi. Walco going out there. He's blinded by his teammate, but they do gain the space down lane. Oh, this is looking bad again. Crossfire's here, but Marsborne are isolating the fights well. Great flashbang thrown. Cryptic gets one. No response from 60. Viz manages to string two together from Moto, which is kind of wild. Molotov lands at his feet. Now he's dead to rights. 3v2. It's done. Chop cut down by MarKE. 3v1. Wolfie has to save. Absolutely no choice. 11-11, and no sign of the bleeding stopping here for Marsborne. I agree with you, by the way, Vincent. I think they have to take the initiative down mid or something. Change it up, because waiting here for the fights to go your way is not working out at all.
Feels bad to put this, you know, all at the feet of those A players. You know, Grizz especially is the one who's in hot water right now for sure. But, you know, partial credit where we're talking about SkinRave. They've consistently had flashes that are catching everyone. Like anyone in pit or mini pit has consistently been blinded on every one of those A execs, you know, except for the ones where they're walking up and contacting. That said, something's got to change. Like, Marsborne cannot keep sitting there and taking it. They took a timeout a couple rounds back to try and discuss maybe an adjustment. But to be honest with you, I didn't see an adjustment off of that. And that was the big buy round. Now, they're not going to be working with nearly as much. You know, obviously, Wolfie saving the scud is big. And they may buy, considering Wolfie can drop. I could see a world in that. But
it's a tough call.
That seemed like the round that they needed to make the ambitious move, that big different play, and they didn't.
They're not buying here. They're not going to. I don't want to say they're playing for overtime, because they can still come through and make this work. But it's not going to be easy. It's going to rely on Wolfie activating with his op, which usually he's been good for, especially here on Inferno, but he's been having a slow game, and that also isn't helping their chances. Wolfie now going down towards Banana.
He's been here often, though.
I know, I kind of want him to shift it up and have an aggressive peek down mid, but every time he was about to go for it, it felt like he backed off, or at least the times I was watching.
Me too. Same
Just
deal.
going back in, it's the same thing. Why not, right?
A double nade in the corner is a nice adjustment, too, from SkinRave. Grizz. I mean, this could be his time to shine. Laxi gets out. They don't know. The Grizz is still in the back lines here. Viz almost sacrificing his life, I feel like, to activate Grizz. Oh, but Cryptic, he's turned right at the perfect moment. MarKE takes 60. And Wolfie, I mean, he's walking this back end. He's got to deal with MarKE. He does. But he's got to save. He and Chop, both of them, walk away from 10-2 up to now 12-11. They're down. Marsborne, they don't take map point first. It's SkinRave to do that.
Unreasonable. This is a 10-1 run from SkinRave. And again, I don't think they need to change anything. This A site has been so vulnerable. They've been executing in almost identical ways round after round, and they're probably going to do the same thing again in this next one to try and close it out. I mean, you know, I'm with you. I don't necessarily like to highlight or focus necessarily on any one particular player, but Grizz has had a very tough time defending A. He needs help of some kind, or just switch him up. Just in the moment, say, hey, go B. I'm going to go A. I'm going to cover this. Let's try and change something around here because it's not working for you. And, you don't want the player to feel miserable in that position. If you need to, make a move that might be a little uncomfortable for some, but in general, it could spark something, right? Anyway, it is the 24th round of play, and now we're talking about Marsborne trying to get it to overtime. And you see, the lean is A. It has to be. Although, there's a lot of utility used towards Banana, and Chop finally gets an opener for his squad. It's been a while. A few rounds, in fact. Takes a lot of damage in the duel. MarKE doesn't have a nade to toss. Grizz finally, no! He gets punished again and down from the balcony. It is going to be back and forth. Viz has done such good work from Moto, but again, he is gushed down to 18 HP. Walco and MarKE have the site. Walco's actually on his own at the moment. And this might be an unexpected position for MarKE, right?
It will be, but I don't know that anybody's going to be coming the other direction, actually, as I say that. Chop. Yeah, starts moving that way. I was saying maybe not because of the wide array of utility that Marsborne had.
Oh,
Chop
God.
doesn't expect it whatsoever. And so now, knowledge on at least where MarKE's at, but Walco, he's hit the shot, and it's all up to 60. He's been almost untouchable in the first half. He barely able to do anything in the second. And SkinRave, they complete that comeback down 2-10, 13-11. It's their victory.
Unbelievable. Absolutely earned. I mean, SkinRave played their hearts out. We saw it, and we talked about it throughout the entirety of that first half.
But really, it looked like in that game, it was a matter of like nobody showing up. And that'll happen every once in a while. They made it look pretty easy against Mythic, even if that overall series was not all that great. And the reality that follows that is that Marsborne are a little bit more practiced here, at least with regard to the reps.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, look, we're about to jump into it here, and we're going to see what SkinRave has in store, but because they pick into it, they have to start on the T side as well, and this has been one of the weaker points, of course, for SkinRave and most teams on the map, is T side has only yielded a 39.3% win rate. Again, small sample size, only 3 maps to build off of there, but I think it's still statistically significant. We'll see how much of an impact it has here as Marsborne need this map, otherwise grand finals over and SkinRave will earn a bye into the grand finals in the regional finals.
Yeah, and of course, what is that? That is a Pro League spot on the line, and
yes,
and it's a huge asset. So keeping that in mind, Wolfie gonna take second contact here. As Grizz already gone down, but the second fight a little too much when 3 players are in connector for the T side of SkinRave. It's good work. I might add even more to it. Look at how isolated this A site currently is. 60's the only one up there. And I think they're going to get there a little bit slower, but they're going to make that decision.
Nice peek from Viz out of Monster Tunnel. 3v3. Oh no, 60 gets caught looking the wrong way. He's lucky to be alive now, but I think Cryptic's going to run him down. Yep, there we go. Cryptic looking towards Dumpster. They throw the smoke as well. Chop tries to come through and actually still alive and manages to collect the headshot. Looking for another one now. They can't track him. He goes back into the smoke. Stays alive. Will have to deal with a post-plant setup. Now Walco is holding close from bank. Waiting with the Glock. Hits the shot. It's all up to Viz. Viz needs a quick one and won't get it. Walco ends the pistol round with a 3K. And SkinRave continue their run of form.
That is nice stuff. I think that the amount of fights early, a little bit surprising. Marsborne looking to take short control. They add on to that when Grizz goes down. Wolfie just keeps looking for those fights and eventually gets overwhelmed. Viz making a really valiant effort to get back into that round and Chop the same. But it's not enough. And SkinRave complete the equation. Their early advantage paying off big time. A lot of presence towards B early. They're going to take short pipe into water. Connector player in the form of Walco. I think they're just going to walk this out pretty quick.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Here they go. Not wasting any time. MarKE, opener. Riz falls down to dirt. Laxi finds the trade against Chop, and they're going to just continue pressing their advantage here on towards this B side. Viz, ooh, almost close but no cigar. Laxi finishes that off, and this force buy is quickly being pushed back. I say that, but Wolfie and Sixy do manage to collect a couple of scalps. Wolfie, the last one standing, staring down towards the B site, and eventually going to swing around this smoke, misses the shot, and that will be his undoing. Walco, another multi-kill round, and it's 2-0 SkinRave, probably going to be 3 now.
It's an old tired point, but they check out with regard to how important picking up a T-side pistol is and winning that follow-up round.
Yeah.
It just makes everything so much easier on this T-side. Because as you were highlighting earlier, this is most teams' weak point for understandable reasons. I mean, in some ways, I think this is one of the harder T-sides, like, in general, period. Just because it can be so demanding.
Yes.
That's not to say there aren't good T-side teams, right? That definitely still exists, but if you can get these 3 rounds early, your target becomes, a couple of gun rounds and you're already at a pretty good half.
I think what makes it demanding as well is just you always have to have your head on a swivel and be ready for flanks, because if you're putting all your focus towards long, for example, then connector is exposed. Short bathrooms could also be exposed where they can charge up, make their way into playground, get around long. All of a sudden, you're trying to focus on your execute, you're throwing your smokes and your mollies in, and then you lose 2 bodies, right? So there's always something to be thinking about on this T side, and it can be really exhausting for a lot of teams. I agree with you. And that's why it's so difficult to manage. As we've got 1 minute remaining on the clock, nade goes in. Marsborne have stacked up the bodies on A. They've got the right read, but it's still just USPs mostly.
Yeah, and this Smack 10 is going to rip through a couple of those. Junior actually stealing one away. Deagle's still alive at least, but only temporarily. Chop. Last man standing, and a Mac 10 going to do the damage to him. So free and clear are these 3 rounds, and I mean, they really don't lose a whole lot either on that anti-eco. So good stuff. Now the real work starts, particularly now that Wolfie has an op. And this time it's not glass cannon, which we saw a couple of times on the second half of Inferno.
Yeah.
Got a pretty good array of util as well.
Yeah, never ideal to go for a glass cannon, especially in CS2 where, well, that's never ideal either. He just missed his jump, just mistimed it. Molotov went right back in his direction, bouncing off the wall. But yeah, I mean, opping is a little more challenging in CS2 than it was in Go, and that makes a glass cannon very difficult to work with. Nice flashbang thrown by Viz, though, as we get back to the action. Chop will collect a frag off of it. Laxi trying to put pressure towards Monster and actually does the job. Grizz gone, but eventually the trade comes through. SkinRave are not really giving up on the fight here towards B, but I feel like now they might have to because they've lost that presence in Monster.
Yeah, I wanted to see Laxi basically like hide there, but his Molotov doesn't clear Viz out entirely of pillars, so there's no chance for the players at short to trade him. And of course, they're still here. SkinRave gonna look to recommit for really like the 3rd time. This boost is gonna net a kill. Chop's dead. 3v3. But 35 seconds. John, there's just not a lot of time.
No, you have to go B here. There's really no choice. You've got some util left. Use it, toss it in, get those smokes out, and gain the advantage if you can. Viz, gonna be the most difficult to put down. Wolfie misses the shot. That allows another player to cross. Viz, very much on notice. Can he collect anything? No! Junior takes care of that. Wolfie does manage to readjust towards Graffiti and even out the numbers, but now they know where he is. So it's the flank that'll matter! What insane awareness from Walco to turn around and decapitate Sixy. Wolfie, last one available. Everything about his position is known. Does he have a kit? No. So now he has the op, can pick up a rifle off the ground, should he be interested in it, but at the same time, it just feels like too tall of a task. Oh my goodness, how does he like Walco there? He's got to get out of here now, there's just no chance. Okay, well, Wolfie will get one and Junior trades him out. Crazy round from SkinRave, but they pull it off.
Crazy round from Walco, who, I mean, he's 8-1 now, but like 8-0, that pullback, like 3-on-4. And I'm not the biggest fan of Chop's positioning, but I think it makes a lot of sense him being on the, on the default box there. It's reasonable.
Yeah.
What I think is really nice is the little gimmick that SkinRave were really quick to employ to punish it.
Yeah, I just feel like you always kind of have to be at least checking that boost, especially in that type of situation. Just have a look every once in a while, but there was no interest in it, and Chop was super exposed. I'm not saying it had to be Chop, maybe someone else. There were 2 people left on that bomb site, I think even 3. So just have a look and see what you can do to prevent that from coming through. But once it does is when all of the pieces start to fall into place for Marsborne. And now they will continue trying to press the issue towards this B site. Once they find a vulnerability on this SkinRave side, they continue to go after it until it doesn't work anymore, as they did over on Inferno. Grizz gets 1, Walco the trade. Cryptic playing from sandbags right now. MarKE by his side. Nade sails through. MarKE's just watching and waiting, trying to thread the needle on a player that may peek out here to try and engage with them. He knows it's a very likely possibility, and he is not wrong.
It's a really nice patience, I feel like, shown by SkinRave to like just wait for Marsborne to take the next step. Because I think really, especially with the type of buy that Marsborne are going to have this round, they're destined to make a step soon. It's just a matter of if it's going to be this flank first, and it is. Sixy activates. Now Chop goes forward. Grizz spotted once again, but still gotta find Sixy. Gotta deny him. He's continuing to move forward right into Wolfie Scout. Misses that shot, but the second one's on point, and Grizz is good for another one. Sixy, I mean, that is the danger of not having anyone at all watching your A flank, only in connector and towards B, is that Sixy can walk through your spawn.
Yeah, I mean, that is true, but at the same time, Junior was watching short pipe, right, into Monster. It's just that he was expecting the push to come from the other direction, and when it doesn't, he can't make the adjustment, and Sixy is able to strike for that one. But he still does damage to Sixy. You're like, oh, he's an easy trade? No, Sixy, after that, gets the next headshot, and I think without him, Marsborne don't win that round, so very well played from Sixy. And you do see that first one on the board, but can they string 2 together? Certainly it's been tough for SkinRave, and there will be an opener. This time Sixy will not take another step forward, but a boost back the other way from B leads to a trade.
I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of feeling this vibe that SkinRave have been putting into prac here. It's little gimmicks and stuff, right? That, it tells you with how quickly they're assembling them, it tells you that they've been in the server working on this map. That's what I'm hearing, and it's being said out loud. I don't know if Cryptic is keyed into that position well. I think now Wolfie been spotted by Junior's up. So, but look at this. Immediately they push back. Cryptic, he's ready, and he's going to get them both. Cryptic, a double, and it's on the MAC-10. This A site, it's open for business, and to be honest, Marsborne, they're really too far away for them to even really think about a retake.
Honestly, Cryptic is an IGL who puts in the work, and it would not surprise me if they opted not to play in as many tournaments so that they could get practice in and get ready to expand their map pool a little bit more. And then when push comes to shove in grand finals, for example, they can bring through the surprise and that hidden weapon. So, yeah. It's looking very well practiced. I agree with you wholeheartedly, Vincent. 5-1 for SkinRave. Grizz and Chop should be able to save these comfortably because the money hasn't yet stabilized on the SkinRave side, but this will be one step closer to that becoming a reality.
Terrorists win.
Shout out the boost there that got Laxi the initial opener as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, Cryptic. Appreciate how much he does get active in general on this. This time, him just holding, waiting for Marsborne to make the next move, and well, they do. Happy to. Marsborne going to start calling these timeouts a little bit earlier, and this was a criticism of mine. Right? You get lucid on the mic and you talk things over. To be honest, I didn't really feel like Marsborne made adjustments when they had these tack pauses on the CT side of Inferno. So I don't think we're at a point where there's an obvious adjustment that I'm looking for here, but it's certainly something that seemed like a little bit of a struggle for whatever reason, which is usually the opposite of the truth. I really feel like Marsborne's attack pauses are typically really strong.
No, I'm with you. This has, oof. It's been a rough one for Marsborne. You know, coming to this grand final, we were both kind of leaning in their direction, but we underestimated what SkinRave, 1, could overcome, and 2, that they would pick into a map like Overpass that was just not one we thought. This is kind of wild in itself.
It's a boost to see in connector.
Yeah.
Had the op posted on that one, and it's, you know, you sometimes see that on the wood wall there, like it's sandbag, but that's one that it looks a little bit deeper, and it's, I'm gonna say, slightly safer with a lot tougher angle to hit, or like a shot to hit rather. Not gonna net them anything.
I think what's impressive is that both teams are pulling out all the stops, right? Showing their knowledge of Overpass and the boosts that are involved with it. And yet, it is SkinRave who are typically coming out on top, just timing things a little bit better. 6E wants to win this fight. Wildco tags him down to 65. And now the util raining in. Oh my goodness, they're going to pincer him in. 6E's not going to live here. It's just a matter of how many kills he can get. There's no way they don't chase him down. Now that Molotov forces him out, he does a lot of damage. Well, half health damage to Laxi, but will fall. No frags for him. 5v4 for SkinRave, but time is very low. Only 35 seconds left. They have to get a move on.
2 per site. Marsborne. Oh, Wolfie. It's just so committed, but they don't actually get him dead just yet. And Junior doesn't hold the angle either. Wolfie's now got time.
15 seconds.
He's calling. And yes, indeed, time is so dang low. Wolfie's going to get another one. Trade is not coming through. Wolfie untouchable. Wolfie with another no-scope. And MarKE has to commit to getting the bomb down. It's a Wolfie 4K that he really should never have gotten. That is incredibly sloppy out of SkinRave.
That's a rare, I'm assuming, miscommunication or losing track of the clock from Cryptic, and once they realize it, they kind of panic a little bit. I thought it would happen a little bit sooner, right? Like, there's 30 seconds left, they start moving, and then they stop. Over at long, you were saying it, they should have gone more aggressively after Wolfie. They shouldn't have just let him live and then hung back a little bit more. Maybe if you have 45 seconds on the clock or over a minute, you can afford to slow it down there, but not in that situation. And then they accelerate. And while it was extremely impressive what Wolfie was able to achieve, I don't think that happens with more time available and less panic on the SkinRave side. All right, well, second round for Marsborne, and that's just thanks to that mismanagement of the clock from SkinRave.
To theorize slightly, I think so Junior was there at long, and I'm wondering why he didn't just post on Wolfie.
Yep.
Your opera is usually at long going to be the guy throwing all the utility for that A exec. So I think that might be what was happening.
Right.
That being said, yeah, a little bit crazy. What are we advertising here? I just want to know.
Du hast ihn deal werden. You have a, I don't know. I'm not very good in German. Something.
That's a forest. That's forest. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the forest maybe. I don't know.
Could be. I just was wondering what kind of. I'm glad we're getting a good look here.
It's a florist of some kind. I think we can get that from content.
That one, I'm pretty certain. I was also, let me add, so one of the criticisms I had of Marsborne's loss to Voka on this map, in the upper semi, is what it was in this year cup, is I feel like 60 sometimes is a little bit too isolated in connector. And that's last round actually happened again. So I want to watch out for that. Continue looking for that, because, I mean, the fact that Wolfie bailed them out doesn't change that that's a potential problem.
I agree with you. Yeah. And also, we can't forget the reason he bailed them out, right, was because of how long it took SkinRave to even get to that site. Okay. 1 hour private credit? Hurry? I think that's something along those. Anyway, whatever. It's fun to try and translate these signs when we have very little knowledge of German at all. But
there's somebody who knows the language and is laughing at us.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
I'm really glad we could provide that person a lot of fun.
Definitely. All right. Let's see if Marsborne are going to have some fun here. 60. You talked about it. Isolated and connector oftentimes. This time he gets the opening frag, and Junior is lucky that Nate didn't go in the other direction, but it doesn't save his life because 60 continues the pathing down in towards those tunnels. Now Viz collects onto Laxi, and this is one of those instances where, yes, 60 was alone, but he wins every single fight, so it doesn't matter. Grizz finding the trade after losing Chop, Cryptic the last one available, and this will be a second in a row for Marsborne for the first time on Overpass.
That's nice work, and yeah, it's exactly why Marsborne do it, because 60 gets away with it so very often. It's like worth the risk pretty much every time. It's just when, especially in that Voka game as an example, it kept going wrong that you start to, think, okay, well, maybe pull off of that a little bit. When 60 is able to push in like that and do so much heavy lifting, then you're absolutely ready to target that. And it doesn't help that Junior, it was Wolfie. I think it might have been the same boost that we saw in Heaven, that or the Woodwall boost at Sandbag, regardless, that gave Wolfie that early tag on the Junior, so they knew that Junior was low as well. Should be a eco round inbound for SkinRave, and it will be. There's a singular Deagle upgrade. Everybody else got Glocks.
60. There's one. There's two. There's three. Easy does it. Padding the stats on the anti-eco. Junior, the last one available with the Deagle. Just hiding around the corner. He knows his fate is probably sealed. I'm assuming his hope is that he can somehow get this bomb planted. Doesn't feel likely.
Dude, Wolfie is a madman. I love Wolfie.
He's so dynamic with the op, though. It's fun to watch.
Like, he's holding that angle with his USP, by the way. Oh, it's so fun. It's great work. And listen, Marsborne, I mean, they're on the road to recovery here, right? 4-5. But as I highlighted at the very beginning, talking about how important getting that pistol is for SkinRave, they've already got 5 rounds, which I would consider to be a decent half. Like a half they could be happy with. And they've still got some significant opportunities to build that up to make it even better.
I agree. Can't deny that Marsborne have taken some strides back into it, though. And while the util does rein in and SkinRave are trying to abuse this B site once more, that flashbang's brilliant, but it doesn't yield an immediate frag. Now we'll go back and forth. MarKE and Walco do get a couple, but Chop and Grizz find the response to even out the numbers at a 3v3. And the biggest problem right now for SkinRave is they don't really have much map control gained off of those duels. And Grizz posted in construction. Oh, he's looking the wrong way. He's looking the wrong way. There goes Junior to strike. 3v2 in favor of SkinRave. Viz hanging around here, but he is the only defender at B. Laxi could win this fight, and he does. Wolfie's all by his lonesome at A, as SkinRave will overtake this B site.
Yeah, that's a round that actually should have been SkinRave's a little bit easier, but it's Chop who gets blinded entirely at short. The issue is he still manages to get a kill. That was incredible stuff, and Grizz trades him 3v3, but ultimately Junior, perfect timing to finally track down Grizz, and Viz can offer up nothing. SkinRave really slow about finally taking this space, but Wolfie was walking it away to begin with. Never going for this. Superb round out of the SkinRave side. I think they've done a great job of not overcomplicating things. Wolfie's actually been given so much time. He's like, well, I could give it a look.
Just have a peek, right? Why not?
It could hurt.
Except it can. Well, he does find something, but it's not a kill. Now they're going to try and chase him down and realize, I really need to run away. That may have been a little bit of an overstep, and eventually, well, Laxi dies. He goes down to the bomb. But, I mean, that's fantastic for SkinRave. You were talking about it getting better on T-side. It just did. They deny Marsborne the ability to walk into the second half with the lead. And, I mean, looking at the money situation, it's actually pretty good. It's actually fantastic. As I realized that Wolfie has 10.4K. So Marsborne should be fine, regardless of the outcome of this round, to buy up even in the last. And SkinRave are going to call a timeout to talk things over and see how they want to approach this round.
I don't think I've mentioned it's axed on the mic here for SkinRave squad.
Yeah, you haven't. Yeah, it's true though.
But
good point.
The very very long time individual that's been, I mean, not just with this team but in North America. We've got a look towards potentially something a little bit quicker. I feel like they also haven't tried to expose the A site very much. It's outside of that big fumble of a round that Wolfie was able to get the 4K on. To be honest with you, more of the same, please. I think that overall we've been super happy with SkinRave and what they've been doing.
Absolutely. And guess where they're going? B again. Grizz. Want to get one? Is that enough to push them back? Laxi wins the fight with Viz. Wolfie waiting with the op, misses the shot, but 60 collects onto Laxi to make things maybe feel a little bit better. But the fact remains that SkinRave are applying the pressure from Monster. Look at this wall of smokes. Not something you see very often, but zero visibility for SkinRave as they go towards this site. Grizz hoping to capitalize, but MarKE spots a little bit of a gap in it and manages to get the headshot. Chop trades it back, so man advantage still here, but the site has been overtaken. Molotov's going to get tossed for sandbags and going to plant it in the smoke now.
There was a nade that just thrown at Chop's position, but he's left at 1 HP, still in graffiti. Missed shot from Wolfie, and so it'll be punished by Junior. Looks to the flank, 60 not seen. And now he activates Junior. Will he turn? Yes, he will. And Chop's 1 HP is just not enough. And it's from a deficit that SkinRave will recover another round. They lose on the initial inbound thanks to Grizz's defense, but they still win.
That's insane. I thought Junior was dead. I thought he was finished. When he looked like he was more committed to watching the other angle, and then all of a sudden decides to check Monster Pipe and hits a quick scope in such a quick fashion. Look at this. What? 60 had him dead to rights in so many ways, and Junior flips the script. 12th round of play. As I mentioned, look, still enough money for Marsborne to buy, but there's a possibility they'll only get 4 rounds on their CT side of Overpass, and again, Cryptic wants to try and abuse this B site. He spots the vulnerability and continues to poke at it until it doesn't work. And it just continues to be successful. It's like Aeon Inferno.
It really is very much like that. It's another example of 60 potentially being isolated here. He's going to go down. Laxi, that's a push that continues to work out. It's a double entry for Laxi. It's his entry prowess that brought him to this team, and he's showing it off. Laxi doing the damage. Now Wolfie. Oh my gosh. It was nearly a lineup. He got damage onto Cryptic. Could have been 2 kills, but it's just going to be the 1. And as Walko walks through, the smoke starts to fade. There's a chance here for Wolfie, but it's a slim one.
How do you do this if you're Wolfie? Op in hand. Looking for targets. No one's showing anything. Why should they? They know Wolfie has the op. They don't have to peek around. Junior does have a look, and Junior will eventually end it. Missed shot from Wolfie. Junior pounces on the opportunity, and it'll be 8-4 for SkinRave as we head to the halftime break.
It's a very impressive half out of this SkinRave team. Marsborne struggling to find some answers. We'll see if they can find those on the T side. Confidence, though, has got to be high for SkinRave.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Cryptic called a masterclass on that T side and really abused the side of Marsborne. And I think, well, maybe we'll talk about it after, as Cryptic is going to engage here. Cryptic looking for a shot, and will get it. A little labored, but finds it. Now has to go for a reload. Eventually run down. A little bit long for Marsborne to eventually find that, but they do. Reinforcements arrive towards the A site. Wolfie takes the head off of Walco. Back and forth we go. Who will gain the edge? It is absolutely SkinRave. MarKE and Laxi strike. 60, the last one standing. Still a lot of time left, but that doesn't matter. His head's gone. Splattered over the wall behind him. And it's 9-4 for SkinRave.
Yeah, it was a tough fight for Cryptic, but the fact that he ends up getting his one, and more importantly even than him getting the 1-for-1, is delaying that, allowing enough time for them then to get back in. And this is a really early tac pause for Marsborne, but listen, they struggled to have these tac pauses really have an effect in the last half. Now is the time to, test that again.
Yeah, and I think it's good to see them calling it, because one thing that we've seen throughout this series, I think, is that Cryptic has abused the vulnerabilities of Marsborne, and there hasn't really been an adaptation there. And I think this is perhaps the one weakness in Sixy's IGLing right now. He's very green in that regard, and while he does call well, when it comes to mid-round adjustments, when it comes to adapting to an IGL on the other side who does a ton of work before the matches and investigates exactly how you play and knows how to manipulate you, it's hard to adjust to that. And I think that Cryptic's done a great job of exposing that vulnerability.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think we've talked about lack of adjustment the whole time, and I think that's a great way of approaching and thinking about this, because, you know, it's impressed everyone how quickly Sixy has been able to like get into this IGL role, look good in it from a calling POV and also from a fragging POV. It's a reality that this is like the hardest role of the game, right?
Oh yeah,
and it can't all come immediately with you know, no downside. So I think a little bit expected. Chop, this is very loud. Cryptic's just heard him sprint by. They're up connector, and the rotation, they thought they had him going B, but the rotations, they're not going to get there in time. Great molly to delay the bombs down.
Well, Grizz has been found, and Cryptic's activating, I believe, on the flank, so they've got SkinRave players swarming around them. Now, SkinRave put a pause to it. They have the 5v3, a little bit of util left, maybe want to get a flash thrown or a smoke, but Cryptic waits in the back line. Sixy tried to aggress against him, but he will not be felled. Bomb ticking away all this while, so they will have to defuse it eventually, but with only one player left to deal with and almost dead, they're just going to stick to defusal. Chop already realizes that the round is over, so he's just running away with the MP9. It is a 10-second defusal, I didn't realize that. Okay, got kind of close, but it is a 10 for SkinRave.
Look at the time that was actually remaining.
Jeez,
That was so close. There was maybe less than a second on that clock, if even. Like,
yeah, it was half a second.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I didn't think they would go into that without a kit, but yeah, that was the case. Holy.
Well, they'll be happy to get that over the line.
Yeah.
Still, double digits, first and foremost, ascertained here by the SkinRave side. I love that. Actually, initially saw that from Wildcard. That was the first time I was watching that run boost. Cryptic, oh my gosh, what a shot. And he's out, gone. They're chasing ghosts already. And so, oh my goodness, that was beautiful.
That's exactly the discipline you want to see from like a top level team in any region. You see, you go for that opening pick, you get it, and then you don't overstay your welcome, especially on CT side. You have a man advantage. There's absolutely no reason for you to get greedy and look for more. Just fall back to the site. Going to safe haven. Sixy.
Yeah.
Moving in. Yeah, go ahead.
He's so far gone, man.
Yeah.
That is devastating. And without, you know, these weapons are at a premium. Cryptic just gathering even more information, and him dropping the smoke front bathroom going to give a lot more availability for the rotations to come back in. Good decision after good decision from Cryptic this round thus far.
Yeah, and this is a bait and switch now too. I mean, there's two players on the site hovering around kind of in the open. Cryptic can just wait beyond the smoke as they focus perhaps on MarKE, who's jumping around, info hopping there. The more attention that MarKE can grab here, the more potent the position becomes for Cryptic. Tanks the nade, waits beyond the smoke, actually goes in it. Oh, this is such a good play, especially if MarKE gets something here. Now he pops out. No, he can't get anything, and neither can MarKE. Sixy and Chop piece that together and are able to get a bomb plant now with a man advantage.
Should have been impossible, but here we are. Walko activating on the flank. Now they can walk this back up. Got to check this close corner here for Junior. Chop swings a little bit preemptively. And there's still a man alive. Wolfie taking a lot of damage. Walko walking back forward, but Grizz, he's right in the way, and it's all up to Walko now. But he's already bested the high HP player. Picks up the USP, and he's going to go for Wolfie. Knows that he's low. Wolfie trying to swing aggressively, and with the kit in hand, Walko's clutch is good.
Such great calm, saying, look, he's low, pull out the pistol, forget about the rifle, you just gotta chase him down. One bullet and he's done. Wolfie realizing the situation, no secret of his approach on Walco's side. Wolfie swings it, but Walco puts that bullet right to his chest. Round over, and this map looks like it might be done for Marsborne too, but at the very least, they do have a buy up here to fight for their lives. Utility a little low for 3 players, but they do manage to string together 3 AKs, a Galil, and an AWP. That being said, SkinRave are 2 rounds away from that buy into the grand final of the regional final.
That is... Yeah, victory here puts you 1 BO3 away from a Pro League spot. That's the beauty of that.
BO5.
That's correct. You're right. BO5. Yes. SkinRave, not too aggressive this round. They've got Cryptic isolated, but trying to walk around. If you walk through the smoke, are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. He's got a free kill.
What's happening?
Okay. And it's going to get traded, but now they can get a jump start on these rotations. And Junior's still here. He's already nailed one.
Junior back into cover, but like even if Cryptic goes down in that instance, he's created chaos in the back lines, which allows Junior to strike on the other side. Now, Marsborne trying to collect themselves. They move in, but Laxi's here as well. Grizz gone. Junior finds Chop, and Laxi makes it look easy. Viz eliminated. SkinRave have 8 opportunities to close out Overpass, take the win in the grand final, and end up in another grand final next week.
This looked like it was going to be an opportunity for Marsborne to book their ticket there. And at 10-2 in the first half of Inferno, I would have probably put money on it.
Yeah.
But SkinRave, they turned the tide. They've looked so good on the T side. And from top to bottom, it looks like they are right now just the better team. One more defense here on the B side. Great trade out of Grizz. And the nades come hunting.
What? It's a call. I didn't know it was a quick scope. I thought it was a no scope, Vincent. But this is already probably over. 60, last one standing in a 1v3. What a ridiculous sequence from Junior. 14 frags on the board. It is done. Laxi puts the killing blow into 60. 13-4. They take the grand finals and they get that bye into the next grand final for the regionals.
Yes, as SkinRave crowned here, and in fashion that I'm genuinely so impressed by.